town. Gather your men and seek out the Cintrian. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Cintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Cintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Cintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Pickering!
Hey, is that not this cur with the price on his head? It's him! Get him! Magic! We'll teach you discipline!
Didn't look like locals. Amy was right. I wasn't.
Witchcraft! Spells!
Invocare can be quite dear. Death. Yet Witcher's rather handsome.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
Leave that to Saul!
Faster! Faster! Long live to Saul!
Late. Why does that not surprise me?
Oh, Geralt, Geralt. I knew I should have taken you to the palace, handed you over to my tailor. Whatever are you wearing?
Sorry, didn't have time to change.
Luckily, I prepared for just such an eventuality. Here, don this doublet. Its cut is all the rage these days. Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but... just one other detail. Here, put it on.
A mask?
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
She ought to be in one of the alcoves.
Please do not disturb.
How fares
One
your
false
health,
move
sir?
will prove ruinous to the entire
Go on, Geralt, be bold.
have the right
Show
to
us the
create.
artist in you.
Come and
The
express
paintballs,
yourself.
cast them at the canvas.
The canvas, and behold your emotion. Good folk, yet another soul longing to express its creative side.
Well, you and come. Let's look in the alcoves.
Silence. The artist must focus.
Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about two things. Coin and pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of...
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Skittering off to Silverlane.
I beg your pardon.
Seek someone?
But what if he doesn't come?
I beg your pardon. She ought to be in one of the alcoves.
Greetings. Do you read poetry, sir?
This is deathly done. Let's go. You're bored as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle for power and influence. A metaphor? What else will they think of? If they can't agree, they have to cut the line. Constant struggle.
Leave, please, leave. This is a private alcove.
Are you sure? Cecilia, we wish to be alone. Please, leave. As for them.
How fares your health, sir? My deepest regards.
Come, let's look in the alcoves.
It seems someone decided otherwise.
That someone knows nothing of true art.
It shall be you next time. Trust me. We are busy. We wish to be alone. Please, leave. We are busy.
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
Please do not disturb.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array.
Ah, how beautiful.
Should you tire of
The
these
dolphins.
hues,
That
drop
is
them
no
in the pail
ordinary
and grab
illusion.
a different
The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
It's not a landscape, clever. It's a manifestation of the man's
Please
soul.
do not disturb.
Quite the noble cousin. Splendid. The sky over Toussaint.
Or a deeply internalized fear of intimacy.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array.
It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
Position takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines.
To vines and to wine!
Position takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
Scarlet crimson of sun. Full sensually ardent lips. Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My basin? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance.
Two things. Coin
Sure
and
to be in one of the alcoves.
It must be
At your service, my good man.
exceptional, true. I would have ever loved to meet him. It's a shame he didn't come alone.
Need I remind you
Do you
that
seek
neither
someone?
did you?
You look to me. My deepest regards.
Good to see you.
Please do not disturb.
The great wow. But he's a dance.
My employer swears.
Please leave. This is a private alcove. But are you sure it's an original?
My employer swears it. Besides, have you not heard the news?
Have I not heard? It's on everyone's lips. 4 duets in one night. The theft of the century. And here you are, offering one to me.
If you are not interested, sir, I'm sure someone else.
Right, fine. You can't think I'd let such an opportunity pass. How much?
Slow down! You have declared your intent. Now I will convey this to my... It back to you. Please await word.
Leave us be.
And I'm sure you understand, there are a great many highly qualified candidates.
Then I shall have to convince you your ample generosity would be best invested in me.
And how do you aim to do that?
I shall arrange a private performance. after the soiree.
My dear, I sense you've a knack for persuasion.
Need I remind you that neither did you.
We are busy. It's an outrage.
Sugar cookie.
You understand? There are a great many highly qualified candidates.
Then I shall have to convince you your ample generosity would be best invested in me.
And how do you aim to do that?
I shall arrange a private performance after the soiree.
My dear, I sense you've a knack for persuasion. You should have.
It seems someone decided otherwise.
That someone knows nothing of true art. It shall be you next time. Trust me, I shall have a word with Oriana personally.
Then I shall have to convince you your ample generosity would be best invested in me. I shall arrange a private performance after the soiree.
Need I remind you
It's an outrage. Cecilia never should have performed tonight. You should have.
It seems someone decided otherwise.
That someone knows nothing of true art. It shall be you next time. Trust me, I shall have a word with Oriana personally. As for that stipend, I'm sure you understand. There are a great many highly qualified candidates.
Then I shall have to convince you your ample generosity would be best invested in me.
And how do you aim to do that?
I shall arrange a private performance after the soiree.
My dear, I sense you've a knack for persuasion. It's an outrage. Cecilia never should have performed tonight.